back at it again with yet another video. I'm Cham Chong and today's video is all about the gaming news. And we've got a bunch of gaming news stories on today's show, so if you guys do end up enjoying today's video, please remember to smack that like button real good. But anyway, real quickly, I just want to apologize for my hair today. Real bad hair day. I'm probably going to get a haircut tomorrow, so I apologize for that awful mess up there. But now let's jump into the first news report on today's show, and it has to do with a game that's coming out later this year. A really awesome looking game, and it's known as Spider-Man. If you don't know already, the brand new Spider-Man game, which is being made by Insomniac Games, is being released on September 7 this year, and the thing is, it's not gonna be the thing that you think it is. What do I mean by that? Well, it's going to be a Spider-Man game. It's made by Insomniac Games, so it's gonna be open world, it's gonna be epic, it's gonna be just a great game overall. However, we do have some sad news, because if you own an Xbox, you sadly will never ever get to play this game unless you have a PS4. This Spider-Man game is exclusive to PlayStation 4. It's not coming to Xbox at all, and the reason for that is, well, look at this. Right here on screen, as you guys can see, the developers themselves have stated never. The game is never coming to Xbox, and that kind of blows my mind, and it makes me sad because every gamer in the world, no matter what system they're on, should be able to enjoy a brand new Spider-Man game. Like seriously, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero out there. Peter Parker, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he's not available on anything but the PlayStation 4. You know what? That makes me upset. I'm gonna put this on and just cry under here. Like seriously, what is their problem? No, but seriously, guys, let me get out of there. It feels like I'm being reborn out of I shouldn't make that joke. That is disgusting. Anyway, this news sucks. It really sucks that we will never see the game on Xbox. And I actually kind of know exactly why this is happening. And the reason this is happening is because, well, Spider-Man, the property, is pretty much owned by Sony. Yes, Sony owns it. That's why Spider-Man's never really been with all the rest of the Avengers and that, in the Marvel movies, in that Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's kind of recently got in there with the new Spider-Man, but it's never really been there. It's kind of just been cameos because they've kind of created this nice little partnership recently. They've just created a nice little bonding relationship. But Sony still want to have all the control over Spider-Man. They have those contracts, all those deals in place, and they just pretty much want to own Spider-Man and get as much out of it as possible. And that totally makes sense, but to make a video game of Spider-Man not available on any other system besides their PlayStation 4, because, well, Sony owns PlayStation, it's part of their company, is just nuts to me. It's ridiculous. Like, why would you do this? You're depriving gamers, people that will buy your game anyway on another system, yeah, this is a crazy decision. At this point in time, the PlayStation 4's already been out for a few years, and it seems ridiculous. You're still expecting that if someone owns an Xbox that they'll actually move over to a PlayStation, purchase an entire console for a Spider-Man game? I don't think so. Look, I love PlayStation. I grew up on the PS1 and PS2. They give me some of the greatest memories, so I am not hating on PlayStation or Sony here. I love that company for what they do for video games, but this is a seriously dumb decision, and they should completely just throw this away and then eventually bring the game and port it over to the Xbox and the PC, because that'll make gamers really happy, and that'll actually probably make them more money realistically, since they are going to distribute that IP, and then more people will buy it, and just make more money that way, seriously. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below regarding that. Like, is it a stupid decision? Should they allow it on every system? What do you guys think about that? Oh, and just before we do move on to the next news report, just a quick side note about the Spider-Man game itself. It will not have any microtransactions, like zero at all. So that kind of makes me even question the decision even more, because they're not going to take all the microtransactions for just the PlayStation console, rather than splitting them up for possibly people on other systems where then Microsoft will make money. So it seems kind of like another stupid decision. But on a positive side of news too, well, positive news is that there are no microtransactions, which is a positive thing. But another piece of positive news is that the world of Spider-Man is huge. To be specific, the developer stated that the game is several times larger than the other game, Sunset Overdrive. They didn't say exactly how much bigger, but several times larger. That's a good thing. But anyway, now let's move on to our next piece of news. I'm going to take this this off because it's starting to get really hot in here. But our next piece of gaming news has to do with Fortnite. Yeah, obviously I'm going to talk about Fortnite. It's the biggest game right now. I'm playing it every single day. And as you guys probably already know, if you play it, the brand new skin came out today, which is the Raven skin, and it is awesome. It's going to cost you 2,000 V-Bucks if you do want this skin. And as you guys already can tell, I bought this skin and I had to. It just looks awesome, seriously. And the best thing is, it got me a victory royale. Well, it didn't. Me and my mate got us the victory royale because we beat everyone else in the damn game. But I was wearing the skin. Check this clip out. Jump pad?
We got it. Yeah,
let's jump pad and go in.
Alright, let's go.
Let's do it.
Ready?
Let's fucking do it, man.
Let's do it. I'll go here.
Oh, nice. That's how you can do it. Woo!
We got the win.
Yeah, Raven time.
Yeah.
So yeah, there it is. There's the skin in action. You get to see it for a little bit there. So maybe you'll go grab it if you do want to, but you don't have to because you don't have to spend 2,000 V-Bucks. I feel terrible about that kind of. Just gotta stop giving Epic Games all my money. Oh man, gonna run out of money. Anyway, yeah, moving on to our next news report on today's show. It's moving from Fortnite over to the other Battle Royale game that everyone loves, and that is PUBG. There's currently a brand new event mode happening in PlayerUnknown's Battleground known as Tequila Sunrise. Now this game mode is way different to anything we've ever seen before in the game. And basically the way to describe this Tequila Sunrise mode is really simple. It runs for 72 hours and, well, all it is, it's shotguns and melee weapons only. So yeah, you've got shotguns and melee weapons. So basically pans, machetes, and shotties. That's a pretty awesome game mode, and it's only on the desert map Miramar, so there you go. The mode started earlier today, so about 8 hours ago or so, so you still got about 3 days, just a little less than 3 days from when this video does go up for the game mode to be out, so you've got a few days to play it. So go check that out. It's definitely worth checking out if you've got the game. Just a side note here, you guys can see the event notes on screen right now. The loot spawn behavior is a little different. You've got the weapons here, which is shotguns that have a 3x spawn rate. Melee weapons also have a 3x spawn rate, and then obviously no other weapons. Then the items, you got bags, helmets, and armor. Level 3, which has a 3x spawn rate. So essentially everyone's gonna have a ton of level 3 gear. It's not just that the weapons are shotties, basically to counteract shotguns constantly being in the game and close range and everything like that. Everyone's got high, like, rated armor. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how that plays out. I'm yet to jump on there, but I probably will give it a go tonight unless I'm on Fortnite. I'll see what happens. Anyway, moving on to our next news report on today's show. And it's that Far Cry 5 is now officially the series' fastest selling game. Yes, it's the fastest selling Far Cry game in history. Ubisoft has claimed $310 million US, which is insane, and that was just in the first week. That is double the opening sales of the previous franchise record holder, which is Far Cry 4. This also makes it the second biggest launch ever for Ubisoft behind The Division. So that's some pretty awesome news right there. I'm actually wearing my Far Cry 5 shirt. It's a hell of a game. It is one of my favorite games that I've played probably in the last year and a half. Like, it is a great game. It's got a great story. The gameplay's fun. There's some glitches here and there that make it even more fun. And then you've got the Far Cry arcade mode. It's just an overall great experience. On top of that, you've got co-op to do the story through with your mates, and that makes it even better. But anyway, moving on to our next news report on today's show. It's a game that definitely is not popular. This is some really sad news, actually. It's a game that failed so miserably, which I didn't expect it to, but it did for some reason. I guess it was the marketing or something. I don't know. But it was actually a decent game. Lawbreakers. If you guys remember Lawbreakers, it launched less than a year ago. And it didn't do very well. There were only a couple thousand people online when it officially launched, and well, now it's officially being discontinued. Like, the development team is no longer going to be supporting the game, and they're moving over to a new project. They're going to start a new game. They're going to be doing new stuff. We don't know what it is right now, but they set out this press release, and it's kind of sad news right here because I had high hopes for this game. I actually flew over to LA. They were nice enough to fly me over and get to play the game early and then bring out a video for you guys, and I did so, and I thought it was a a good game at the time, but I think that it just didn't execute on the marketing or something. I don't know where it went wrong, but sadly, a good game dies and then they have to just abandon it and move on. So we're not sure exactly what they will do with the future of their company, but they are saying that they are working on a new game, and hopefully that they do find some success with that new game, because it kind of sucks to see them develop and put so much energy into something and then have to abandon it because, well, it's just not making any money for them. It's just a sad day for video games, I guess. Damn, that really does make me kind of sad. It's got me a little bit down. But to move on to our next news report, which will make us all really, really happy, and it's about Spyro, because, well, the original Spyro game is being remastered. This is our final news report on today's show because it's a great one, and it's coming out this September. It's going to be out on all systems pretty much, and I can't wait for this. You guys can see some screenshots on screen right here, the comparison of the original Spyro game compared to the remastered version of the game. It's called Reignited, essentially. So yeah, it looks a lot better now. I can't wait for this game, and on top of that, it's going to be on all systems unlike Spider-Man, so good on them. Anyway, guys, that pretty much ends it for today's show. If you do want to check out the Spyro trailer, which I couldn't show you guys in this video because of copyright issues, I've linked it down below. It's definitely worth checking out. But that pretty much does it for today's show, as I said. Now, Gorilla Man, please hand me that question. Sexual Man, okay, guys, and the question is, what old school game would you want to see remastered and why? So get creative with your answer, put it down below in the comments section, and you could end up on the next show. But if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to smack the like button, because I'm Champ Chong, my accent's Australian. Here are the answers to Gorilla Man's previous question.